What if you actually understood that your addiction is not a flaw in the system, but it was actually designed, it was put in there before incarnation between you and Creator to make sure that your ass woke up, to make sure that you were the living proof that there is a love that dwells in each one of us that is meant to leave a legacy here. And when I say legacy, I'm not just talking about you leaving money for your kids, having bank accounts and houses and cars. I'm talking about leaving this legacy of change, this legacy of critical thinking, this legacy of looking at the planet and seeing how you can serve it. See, me as an addict, I used off and on for 22 years. During that time, I did go in and out of different programs, 14 rehabs, long-term treatment programs. I was Narcaned 14 times, taken away on ambulance after ambulance. But something kept me alive for a reason. And I was one of the most stubborn addicts that I knew. I was far beyond the person that had lost control of themselves when it came to putting any mind-altering substances within themselves. So I want to talk about my childhood real quick. I was a very sensitive being. I'm purposefully, as a soul, a sensitive human. Why am I a sensitive human? Because I'm able now to read and feel and intuitively get the guidance that's necessary to carry out my design, my soul signature, what I was meant to be in this plane of existence. And so you have this sensitive little being that wasn't necessarily raised in a way to allow for me to understand that. And there was a lot of trauma. And this little loving being that knew how important love was, this little being that fought for love and fought for unconditional love. I knew that I deserved more love when I wasn't doing well, and I didn't see that. And I got jaded over time and forgot who I was. Now, let's talk about the gift of active addiction, because you're not going to hear this. You're not going to hear this in rehab. You're not going to hear this in a meeting, what I'm about to say to you. There is a built-in spiritual awakening ego death when it comes to active addiction and the degradation that happens to the addict in use. And so while we are going through that process, we could go, oh my God, this looks so horrible, but it's blasting away everything that we thought that we were. It's having us literally go to like a space of feeling nothing. There was times where I just got high to feel. I mean, I went from getting high to numb, but then I just needed to feel something because I didn't know who I was. There was no fulfillment. I was just trying to put whatever I could in my body, like just everything and people, places, and things, pulling it all in and feeling more and more empty because that wasn't going to fulfill me. What was going to do that was me understanding who I am as a soul. For me to understand that I am a soul first and I'm in a human body and that my brain is different than other people. And I was going to, I finally got to the point where I accepted that. And so I have this built-in ego death that is definitely needed with any spiritual awakening. And also the manifestation power that I had as a drug addict, as a crackhead, as a junkie, that when I ran out, I was going to make sure that I got the next one. And it didn't matter where I was going to find it. I was going to create money. I was going to create funds to do that. I was going to create a place to stay. There was no other option. And so we begin to see this part of the addict that is relentless. And when you're in recovery, you do not lose that. You do not lose this part of you. You get to just change the target. You get to envision a life that you love. You get to put those efforts into that and watch it grow because you've already done it through drug addiction. So I just want to go over the addiction code method real quickly. So the first part is interruption. This is the moment where you realize that life ain't lifing and you ain't showing up the way you know that you can. You feel like something is off. And so the second step to this is decoding. We start to look at the patterns beneath the patterns. We start to see where we are programmed. We start to see what is actually happening for us. And then the third is to reclaim you as a soul, the universal law that you live in, and that you get to create a life that is proof that there is good in this world, that there is something that is working within us to bring us closer to home. And then the fourth thing is integration. So we are now embodying our truest essence, and we get to serve from that place. And this page is going to have a ton of videos, but we're also going to have a beautiful podcast, the Addiction Code podcast, where I will have extraordinary addicts, their story, take you through their process of how they got where they are. I'm also going to have professionals on here that I feel are really important for the addict to have outside of meetings, and just things that we don't think about. When people tell me, well, I've tried everything. I'm like, you have not tried everything. There's so much shit out there you don't even know exists. You have not tried everything. So welcome to the Addiction Code. What's up? Come on now.